Is Big Bang Theory's Leonard dead? Young Sheldon finale clues explained. The Young Sheldon series finale was more than a goodbye to the boy genius. It was a bridge to the Big Bang Theory's future. Yet among the heartfelt callbacks, voiceovers, and emotional farewells, one subtle moment has sparked an unexpected wave of fan theories. Is Leonard Hofstadter dead in the timeline of the Young Sheldon finale? It might sound absurd. After all, Leonard, played by Johnny Galecki, was very much alive when the Big Bang Theory ended. He was married to Penny, expecting a child, and seemingly headed for a happy life. But young Sheldon's closing moments, with their ambiguous narration and nostalgic tone, left viewers wondering if something darker had occurred off-screen. Let's break down what we know, what was said, and whether the finale quietly hinted at Leonard's death. A finale full of goodbyes and hidden clues. The Young Sheldon finale wasn't just about Sheldon losing his father, George Sr. It was about transitions, both for the characters in the show and for viewers, emotionally bridging the gap between the prequel and the Big Bang Theory. The final episodes took their time, giving each character a farewell, culminating in a heartfelt voiceover by Jim Parsons' adult Sheldon and a surprise voice cameo by Mayim Bialik adult Amy Farrah Fowler. As adult Sheldon reflected on the meaning of family, legacy, and growing up, the show briefly gave us glimpses into his future life, one filled with memories, parenting duties, and an ever-present sense of longing for those he's lost. But it was a single line, subtle and easily missed, that sent theorists spiraling, Sheldon referring to Leonard in the past tense. The past tense problem. In one of the final moments of narration, Sheldon says, "Greater than, I had a best friend once. His name was Leonard." It's a line that, on the surface, appears innocent. Sheldon is reminiscing, after all, and even among the living, friendships change or drift apart. But the emotional weight of the scene, combined with the word had, hit many viewers like a freight train. This wasn't just a throwaway reference. It was deliberate, emphasized in a reflective tone, delivered at a moment when we'd just experienced the funeral of George Cooper Sr. Thematically, it came in a montage dedicated to grief, loss, and acceptance. Fans are trained to read between the lines in moments like these, and this one seemed to be broadcasting a hidden loss. Leonard, the heart of TBBT. Leonard Hofstadter wasn't just Sheldon's roommate, he was the emotional center of the Big Bang Theory. He grounded the series with his empathy, loyalty, and dry wit. He was the first real friend Sheldon ever had. And though their relationship was frequently strained, it was also the most consistent in Sheldon's adult life. So, why would young Sheldon subtly hint at Leonard's absence, or worse, his death? To answer that, we need to consider the framing device of the Young Sheldon finale. The adult Sheldon timeline. Jim Parsons' narration across Young Sheldon has always provided a unique perspective. He speaks from a point years after the events of the prequel, recounting his childhood with the clarity of hindsight and the detachment of emotional maturity. But the finale shifted that tone. We weren't just hearing adult Sheldon's voice, we were hearing older Sheldon. One who had lived a full life, was married, had a child, and clearly had experienced more loss than just his father. The scene featuring Sheldon walking through a snow-covered street, heading to his son's hockey game, was symbolic. It showed growth, Sheldon embracing fatherhood, sacrifice, and his family. But it also showed solitude. He wasn't walking with Amy. He wasn't surrounded by friends. It was Sheldon, alone with his thoughts, reflecting on the people who shaped him. That's why the Leonard line stood out. Greater than, I had a best friend once. It sounded final. It sounded like Sheldon was reminiscing about someone who was gone, not just emotionally, but physically. And that naturally led fans to wonder, is Leonard dead by the time adult Sheldon is telling this story? Possible interpretations. Let's explore the possible meanings behind that line. 1. Leonard is dead. This is the most dramatic interpretation, and the one gaining the most traction online. The use of past tense, the emotional tone of the scene, and the overarching theme of loss suggest that Leonard has passed away in Sheldon's later life. It's possible the creators included this line as a quiet nod to the passage of time and the inevitable loss that comes with it. After all, Sheldon loses George Sr. as a teen. He loses his father figure. Perhaps he eventually loses his best friend too. If Leonard has died, it adds a deeper sadness to Sheldon's recollection. His appreciation for Leonard only grows with age, and the man who once annoyed him with his emotional sensitivity is remembered as Sheldon's best friend. 2. Leonard and Sheldon drifted apart. The less morbid interpretation is that Sheldon and Leonard simply lost touch over the years. Perhaps Sheldon moved on with his life, becoming a parent and professor, while Leonard and Penny raised their own family. Friendships often fade, not out of animosity, but because life pulls people in different directions. If this is the case, the line, "I had a best friend once," might reflect emotional distance rather than death. Still, it's an odd choice of words. Sheldon is precise with language, and referring to Leonard in the past tense suggests something more final than just drifting apart. 3. Sheldon is just being Sheldon. Let's not forget who we're dealing with. Sheldon Cooper has always had a unique way with words. He can be unintentionally blunt, overly literal, or melodramatic. It's entirely possible that saying, "I had a best friend," is just Sheldon's way of acknowledging a chapter of his life that is closed, even if Leonard is alive and well. But the tone of the narration didn't feel clinical or flippant. It was warm, nostalgic, and profoundly sad. That's why fans are struggling to write it off as mere wordplay. Why would the writers be so vague? This isn't the first time the Big Bang Theory universe has teased something major with ambiguity. From Raj's love life to Penny's real last name, the franchise has often played coy with its endings. The Young Sheldon finale followed that tradition, wrapping up some stories while leaving others open-ended. By leaving Leonard's fate unclear, the writers have ensured fans keep talking. They've created a mystery, one rooted in emotion, character history, and decades of audience investment. If they had confirmed Leonard's death, it might have felt jarring. If they had ignored him altogether, it might have felt like a betrayal. Instead, they gave us one line that carries the weight of an entire relationship. Could a spin-off confirm the truth? Let's not forget that a new Big Bang Theory spin-off is reportedly in development. While details are scarce, if it takes place after the original series, it could finally clarify what became of Leonard, Penny, and the rest of the gang. If Leonard has died, such a show could explore the aftermath through Sheldon, Penny, or even their children. If not, it could simply show the evolution of these friendships over time. But one thing's for sure, the finale has reignited interest in Leonard's story, and fans are hungry for answers. Conclusion: Leonard's fate is a matter of the heart. So, is Leonard dead in the Young Sheldon timeline? We don't know for sure. And maybe we're not meant to. What's clear is that Sheldon, in his older years, thinks of Leonard with affection, reverence, and perhaps a hint of regret. Whether Leonard passed away or simply drifted from Sheldon's orbit, his impact on Sheldon's life is undeniable. The line, "I had a best friend once," is more than just a sentence. It's a eulogy for a friendship that shaped Sheldon, a tribute to,